What is going on, everybody? It's your favorite Saturday night programming. It is the premier wrestling show in this very ring. We are brought to you live. Yeah, that's right. I said live from all of our Real Talk studios all over the country. I am the ever charismatic, the enigma, the phenomenal Ritz. To my that way. So my left, I guess, on screen. I don't friggin' know anymore.
It'd be the right to everybody else.
Yeah, we have the new United States champion, the man they call Butters. And joining us tonight, very special guest, not a one-time only. Don't adjust your dials. It is the co-host of Hockey Happy Hour, the co-host of Lazy Booking. It is one half of the Ginger Gang. Ladies and gentlemen, Matty the Goat Sinsuti.
What's up, everybody?
Thank you for joining us.
That's right. I'm the Killian Dane of Lazy Booking.
Oh, my God, that needs to be used. Guys, as always, in this very ring and HUD Radio are brought to you by our sponsors, Dr. Paul Vidal. Check him out on specializedphysicaltherapy.com. They got three locations: Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. He's our doc. You got to go make him yours. Also, summertime is here. The sun is out. Barbecues are getting geared up. 4th of July is right around the corner. You need to call your leading deck restoration and gutter cleaning experts of South Jersey. You need to call the guys over at Ambuck Services. 856-879-5530. Once again, that is Ambuck Services, 856-879-5530. They're going to get you squared away. You tell them the guys over at HUD Radio sent you. Guys, it's been a while. But I can honestly sit here and say we are coming off the heels of one of the best weeks in pro wrestling from a match perspective, from a story perspective. That being said, QB54, the best tailgating game in the business, brings us our poll question. Our poll question is derived from Backlash 2020, 6 nights ago. Live from the Performance Center, where Edge and Orton had the greatest wrestling match of all time. Agree or disagree? Butters, you were very vocal. Let's start with you then, since you wanted to open your mouth.
Okay.
Greatest wrestling match ever? Nah, not a chance. Great match? Yes. I honestly think this is the match that will save the pay-per-view, because to me it was just a little lackluster. But overall, great match, yes. Greatest ever? No. There's 20 million other matches, hell, last week's match with AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the IC title was far better than this one.
Maddie?
The greatest match ever, well, to be honest, as great of a match as it was, the greatest match ever doesn't need to say it's the greatest match ever. But, I will say, though, does it belong as one of the great matches we've seen? Yes. Is it the greatest match of this year so far? I could arguably say it could be in the conversation. But when you get right down to it, it's not the greatest match ever. But it's definitely one of those matches that you go look back on, it's like, damn, that was a damn good match. For a pay-per-view that, for the most part, was just one of the many middle pay-per-views getting you to SummerSlam. It was like, man, that main event was perfect. No title, no nothing. It was just pride on the line, and they delivered.
So, Maddie, I completely agree with you, right? When you talk about pride being on the line and how Edge and Orton, two seasoned veterans, come out and they put on a clinic, right? It is a very safe phrase to say that Edge and Orton last week put on a clinic.
They did.
Is it the greatest wrestling match of all time, though? No, it's not. Right? We have seen things like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ric Flair, Macho Man and Steamboat, right? Those are two big ones that come to mind. Taker and Michaels at 25. That's another huge one. I think it really dives down to what do you classify under the term greatest, right? What is the word greatest mean to you? To me, and I have to go again with what Matt said, and Butters, you kind of touched on it as well, right? The pay-per-view, there were good moments. There were, matches that were really good, and a lot of moments that made me say, what the hell are we watching? But then when it started, and I think from the opening promo video that they did, and then you have the Madison Square Garden microphone lowering down, and that ever so familiar voice of Howard Finkel echoing through. Like, when that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm more interested now. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to watch. Right? And then Charles Robinson wearing the old school ref shirt and talking to, what the match rules are. Like, it had a different feel to it, and that's what we liked. And some of the camera angles were weird and stupid, but I think it was a very solid performance. You think about their WrestleMania match. We sat here on our recap shows, on both recap shows, and said that it was not the best performance that they could have put on. It got stale, halfway through. They do another 45-minute match, right? So it's almost the same time, and this was so much more better. Told a bigger story. Told a better story, right? So to me, I disagree, but it was great. It capped off the night wonderfully. Weird seeing Edge lose that match. It does obviously set up for a rubber match between these two.
Yeah. Sorry, Andy.
No, you're okay, Matty. Go ahead.
I had a feeling that Orton was going to win, only because I feel like we're probably, in my opinion, even though they called this one the greatest match ever, I feel like this rivalry ends at SummerSlam. So I would say that's why I thought Orton was going to win. I thought, okay, this is their in-between match. They'll finish it up at SummerSlam. We don't know what they'll do. Maybe they'll try this with Edge. I know that they have to I know there's that worry because of the injury he had. Maybe they do TLC, only because Edge is so synonymous with it.
I was going to say, the SummerSlam, I don't see it. He's out for a good while because of the injury at Backlash. He just had surgery. He had surgery, I think, Monday on it. So, I mean, if he comes back from it that quick, cool. But, I mean, we probably won't see this to maybe Survivor Series at the earliest?
That's fine. I mean, if it finishes off in one of the bigger pay-per-views, I think that, and it will probably give Survivor Series a main event that, we won't just, it's just another one of the Survivor Series tag matches. Who cares?
So, before we get into the injury, Jake Friel from the Weekly Roundup chiming in. What's up, boys? I disagree to the poll. It was a phenomenal match, but not the best ever, but it's definitely up there. Guys, Jake and Steve, they had a great interview just a few hours ago. When it drops tomorrow on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Speaker, all your podcasting apps, you need to go check them out. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to our station, because if you miss the great action here at HUD Radio, that's where you go and get caught up on. Chris Lentz chiming in. What's your opinion about sexual abuse of wrestlers everywhere in the business? What do they need to change to get it right? It does come out right out the gate, the sexual abuse questions.
To be fair, it was going to be kind of hard to avoid it.
No, absolutely right. And I said I wouldn't avoid it, but I wasn't going to bring it up right out the gate.
Gotcha.
everybody is innocent until proven guilty. That is something that I will take to my grave. As it stands right now, I don't have enough of the facts to make a decision one way or the other. Now, what I will say is if these accusations are true and if things are happening, then yes, a change needs to be made. And what that change looks like, I don't know. I've never been in a position, or the company I work for has never been in a position where we've had to address those kind of issues. So I don't know what a professional answer to that is. Obviously, we know Jack Gallagher was released from the WWE yesterday due to that reason. And we know that there's other stars like Matt Riddle and a lot of UK wrestlers. Like I made the
I think all this started because of David Starr. The whole
correct. I made the joke. I went to sleep Wednesday night about 1:30 in the morning, woke up Thursday at 6:30, and the entire wrestling landscape changed. And most of the British UK wrestling scene was being accused of different things. As far as an opinion, I don't have one just yet. I need more facts. I need more things to come out first. Gentlemen, you want to weigh in on that before we keep going?
I mean, I'm pretty much the same thing. It's, I'm one of those wait and see because it's kind of hard to, accusations are there, but it's like how much of it's, I don't know. I don't want to, say something and then my statement get blown way out of proportion.
Right, exactly. So let's keep going. Chris, thank you for the question. I appreciate you bringing it in. Sorry if it's not the answer you were 100% looking for. Pete Evans, co-host of Birds of a Feather, dropping in. He's chilling by the fire pit on this lovely Saturday night. Pete, stick around. Check out the show with us. Guys, if you missed Birds of a Feather, they just wrapped up their multi-week draft. Go back. Let us know who your favorite team was. Greg Milakovic. Oh, this bum. What a huge bum he is. But you can find him on AM and the PM every Wednesday. Well, not every Wednesday, when he decides to wake up. Or agree to disagree on Sundays. No, that's when he's got to wake up for. He says, "What's up, fellas? I disagree to the poll. I think it was a solid match, but it wasn't the greatest." Right? Yeah, I mean, everybody. Oh, and by the way, guys, it's here. It's finally here. Philly Drinkers has come through. It is the In This Very Ring show shirt, guys. Every show's got a shirt. You got to go to phillydrinkers.com and check them out. Chris Lentz adds Hogan and Andre the Giant as one of the greatest matches ever.
Yeah. Match that made WrestleMania what it is. So, yeah. Absolutely.
And then Edge versus Orton is a great match, but not the greatest wrestling match ever. It was only the tagline for Backlash to attract the fans to watch. I mean, he's not wrong.
No.
I mean, my God.
I mean, I bet you how many times, since they were doing that whole Madison Square Garden feel with the whole mic coming down, how many times did Vince McMahon Sr. do a poster where it said Bruno versus this guy, greatest wrestling match ever? And it's just like, I highly doubt that, but okay.
Or in a promo, somebody goes, "We're going to have the greatest wrestling match this weekend." No, you're not. Shut up. It could be a 10-second squash match. So let's talk a little bit more about the greatest wrestling match ever. Right? It continues Monday night. And you get one of the weirdest moments ever. Greg says, "So I guess you don't want to hear that I'm sitting on the balcony listening to the waves and watching the lightning over the ocean." I speak for everybody and Ralph, which, by the way, guys, I totally forgot. I fail to mention it every week because he's always so quiet. In the background, sitting here, making all your comments pop up on the screen and making us look as good as he possibly can. It is 1/3 of the Fix hosts. It's my man, Ralph Delavecchio. Ralph, get this crumb off my screen, but I speak for all of us when I say, "Hey, Greg, bite me."
Hey, what's up, Prism?
Prism, love having you here, brother. He goes, "I actually watched 4 minutes of Raw the other day." Regretted all 240 seconds. Ric Flair hit a nutsack. Orton did a punt. I never believe Orton believes what he's saying. After the punt, it was cringy. So I'm actually glad that he says this. What the fuck was Flair doing? I don't get it. What was with the dick hit?
I don't know. Like, we're getting Flair next week on Monday, I guess, to explain the bullshit, but I don't get it either. Like, is he back with Orton? Is he managing Orton? Like,
why? Explain to me why.
I don't know, but that's what I'm getting at. It's like, why is he, helping out Orton? Orton doesn't need it.
Maddie, you're smarter. Explain to me why Ric Flair's with Orton.
I mean, WWE trying to play off of nostalgia. That's the only thing I can freaking throw out there to pretty much put any kind of reality as to why Flair's here at this point in time in a pandemic.
I mean, I missed Raw Live, and I jump on Twitter and I see nothing but why Ric Flair, why? I'm going, fuck me. What did Rick do? Like, I'm thinking it's like a national news. So my instant reaction is not to go to like WWE's YouTube page or WWE's page. It's to go to like a media outlet, like a Yahoo or something. Ric Flair 2020. And the first thing that pops up, Ric Flair low blows Christian. God damn it. It looked so bad.
Well,
right, because
the camera angle is what killed it for me. They cut. You got Orton, Christian staring at each other, and then all of a sudden the camera just does a fucking 180. You're like, what the fuck happened? Next thing you know, Christian's down. I'm like, wait, what the hell did I just watch?
Why is Christian on the ground? Christian and Edge be punted by Randy Orton. Who's the next superstar or legend to be punted by Randy Orton?
Himself.
This begs the question that I asked myself the other day. Orton back-to-back wins with the punt, like to two legends. Are we seeing the return of the Legend Killer?
That's a solid question. If it is the return of the Legend Killer, who's happy?
I mean, I'd be a little happy. I did like that version of Orton.
I thought that was Orton's best period when he was doing the Legend Killer gimmick. He had one of his best rivalries with The Undertaker for an entire year's worth of a rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, that moment at Survivor Series 2000 and what was it, 5?
Yeah.
Oh, with the casket and the lightning and then Taker kicking down the casket. Oh my God, that was the best thing ever.
Yeah, they had that Hell in the Cell match at Armageddon, and that was a great match. And then they had that handicap casket match with Cowboy Bob Orton crawling back into the ring. I'm like, damn, okay.
See, what I wish, I wish we would have gotten Legend Killer with Randy Orton more now, more of this when he did the Viper and the that kind of Randy Orton.
Well, I'm thinking that's what, or at least that's what I'm hoping. But I'm thinking, with him bringing back the punt, him taking out Edge and Christian, maybe we're seeing a version of the Legend Killer that uses the punt as his way to take out his legends.
I mean, it's a very good possibility.
Because Legend Killer RKO. I just took out a legend with the RKO. Maybe now it's like I said, it's the punt.
No, it's a good possibility. Either way, I'm super happy for what we're getting with Randy right now. It's nice to see him back in a story that actually fucking matters.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, I think Randy's a victim of his own success because you've put him in everything. You've literally put him in every single situation you could put somebody in. He's been a babyface champion. He's been a heel champion. He's faced John Cena a million times. He faced, just name them. Reigns, Rollins. I mean, he's faced them all. He's beaten them all. He's lost to them all. So he's literally done it all. There's not much else you could do with him.
I mean, Prism dropped in the comment, if Randy goes back to the Legend Killer, do we see him beat himself? Now, phrasing number one. Number 2, this is a mildly family show, Prism. Number two, that's a good question, right? Because he adds how many legends could come in for him to kill that are still active? 4-ish? Oh, Ted's over there on Twitch. Ted saying we finally get Christian to come out of retirement, have a match, maybe even a retirement versus a future Hall of Famer. Nope. Ric Flair with the dick kick. Did Christian come out to his greatest theme song? I'm not getting that loud. I'm not getting that high pitched. But Christian and Lash, you're on your own.
Oh, man.
I thought about it, though. I'm not going to lie. But then I realized microphone, mouth. No.
Yeah, it would make a...
It would be bad. But yeah, we know that Edge tore the tricep during the match. I have no idea how long someone's out with a tricep injury for.
I think the latest I seen was maybe 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Oof. So that would put him at TLC.
It could be less. It depends on the person.
Yeah, that puts him. So 3 months is whatever the hell they're gonna do in September. God, don't let it be another Hell in a Cell.
No, I might be close to Survivor Series.
It would be between September and December.
Yep.
That being the case.
Well, so obviously a bridging of the gap there, you could have Christian come out of retirement, if that's possible. I mean, if you can coax him, maybe you can get a SummerSlam match between Christian and Randy Orton, and then that may create some buzz.
Or maybe even an Extreme Rules match.
Maybe you could do that too.
I don't think you would have to coax Christian out. I think you would have to coax the doctors into giving him the all clear.
True, but you never know. I mean, if Edge got medically cleared, he had that injury that pretty much could have killed him or paralyzed him. So who knows? Daniel Bryan was never supposed to wrestle again.
Yep.
That is very true.
I think what Christian was a matter of like really bad concussions, just back to back. So it's a matter of is Vince okay with it, and are the doctors okay with it? What are you laughing at over there?
Frank Vesby, another host here at A2D Radio and producer. You can find him hosting The Fix and producing Sports Sounds. Frank said Carmella. Enough said. Do you got now? Naturally, he is not talking about Carmella just on a photo shoot or something of that nature. Do you guys know why Carmella's been in the news as of late?
No, I guess I'm missing it.
Okay. Well, my understanding is that Carmella and Corey Graves have their own podcast called Bear With Us. And things were said.
Oh boy.
Things I'm not going to get into on a family show were said. Okay.
Family show.
As family as this is going to get. Yeah. Let's just say we found out what some of the kinks behind closed doors were.
Oh dear Lord.
And it's not good. So
can I spell it out, or should I just not go there?
I just don't go there.
Okay.
Just don't.
I'm sorry, you're leaving me with this whole world of material, and I have to pass it up, and it sucks so bad. I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's your show. I won't ruin it. We can't afford that.
No, we can't.
We can't afford a show to get thrown off the air, so no. Okay.
Wow, put up Ted's comment. I'm not gonna read it off, but put up Ted's comment.
Oh,
I didn't think of that one. That's a good one right there. Good on you, sir.
That's the one.
Good on you, sir.
Oh, Ted, thank you.
Yep.
I
I think
appreciate that.
Ted's not. I don't think he's getting beat tonight. I think he won the comment.
So, speaking of complete and utter clusterfucks and what is happening in our world right now, let's work backwards down the card of Backlash. Let's go back
Backwards,
to what.
okay.
Let's go back to whatever in the hell the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders was. So here I'm gonna read you on the recap sheet that I have. I'm gonna read you what they write because it's gold. The advertised Raw Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders turned out to be an extended backstage skit that saw them fight through the parking lot and backstage area. This turned into broad comedy involving sword fights, Akira Tozawa showing up with a gang of motorcycle ninjas for some reason, and multiple flashback dream sequences. It ended when all four men fell in the trash and were threatened by what appeared to be an alligator that growled like a tiger. The paragraph finishes, I promise I did not do drugs before typing this paragraph.
Maybe he didn't, but someone, either they did or someone did on that production team, and that's what they got out of that. That's all I could say.
I think Vince is getting old and senile.
Maybe.
So let's break it down a little bit more, right? So both teams end up brawling outside the Performance Center, where Ford throws Ivar into Braun Strowman's car. The two teams then fought in a walkway where Ivar threw a bowling ball into Montez Ford. Both teams were then interrupted by the group of biker ninjas led by Akira Tozawa. At that point, the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders transformed, I'm quoting here, transformed into the Viking Profits and proceeded to fight off the ninjas. After fighting off all the ninjas, Tozawa feigned defeat. However, he summoned a 7-foot-tall ninja who wielded a sword. The Profits and the Viking Raiders then retreated and fought each other atop a production truck where they were then thrown into a dumpster. WWE referee Jessica Carr then appears and told them that their match is next and stated that Ivar was cute while Eric not so much, apparently a running gag throughout all these skits. The segment ended after both teams were spooked by a tentacle creature.
When they got to that part, I immediately thought, like, are they doing Star Wars? They're doing freaking Star Wars when they're in their freaking garbage pit. What?
Well, that's what I was expecting. At that point, when they get into the garbage pit, I'm like, shit, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
They're in the trash factor.
But, like, watching this whole thing, I have never vocally said what so many times in my life. Like, I mean, my Christ. And what really got me was the golf clubs didn't bother me because they did the golf club skit. The bowling ball didn't bother me. The shields didn't bother me because, Vikings. None of that bothered me. The moment I have the issue is when, for some reason, Akira Tozawa shows up on a motorcycle with ninjas. Ninjas!
You don't 7-foot-tall ninja?
No! And why did he need a sword?
Oh my!
And why? Wait, we're forgetting the big part of all of this. So, somebody has a golf club. Somebody has a bowling ball. Somebody else had the shield. And then Ivar has a turkey leg.
And not just any kind of turkey leg, a Ren Fair turkey leg, who are freaking gigantic.
Oh, not even a Ren Fair turkey leg. No. He had one sprinkled with just a little bit of midichlorians, and he could use the force.
Yeah.
What in the nerd was happening here?
What's funnier? Okay, so they all team up like they're the fucking Power Rangers for 2 seconds here. That's literally what they were.
I was crying.
They gang up on Beat the Ninjas Up. Akira Tozawa's doing this freaking ninja pose, and his head is vibrating. He's just hamming it up. It's like, what is he, Funaki? What the hell is going on here?
I was thinking like Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan.
I was thinking that too, but then I thought to myself, like, no, they're making Akira Tozawa Funaki all of a sudden out of nowhere. Who is just like, he's WWE's #1 Japanese wrestler now out of nowhere.
Shit. It was just, and then he goes to fight, like, so Big Man's got the sword, right? And he's like, ah, and Ivar's like, turkey leg, and decides, I'm gonna fight you with a turkey leg.
I know.
And I'm pretty sure it's Montez that looks at him and goes, dude, no.
What's even funnier is that they go and they run away, and then they get to where I think either on top of the truck or before they get to the top of the truck, and Ivar catches up at the very end, and he's like, yeah, and if you weren't so focused on turkey legs, you'd be here by now. I'm thinking, no, you care. You're fighting them. What?
And at one point, we're supposed to be the Viking prophets. Oh my god, it was so weird.
I mean, like, when they build this, by the way, they never said that there was going to be anything weird about this match at all. Nothing at all. They just said a Raw Tag Team title match is going to happen tonight on Backlash. So you figure, okay, they're just going to go to the ring, do their thing. No. I can safely say no one saw this one coming.
No, not at all. And, like, I thought it was going to be, okay, this is where the Viking Raiders take the titles, right? Like, this is go time. No. And then at one point, like, we decide we're going to, Eric and D'Angelo go through the glass door, and he goes, why'd you throw me through the glass? Because you were fighting me. Like, what? What are we doing?
Oh my god. That whole thing was, I mean, if it wasn't for the Edge and Orton match, is it weird to say that would have been the most memorable thing of the night?
Not at all. Absolutely not. And if that would have been how the show would have ended, I don't know. I could have been mad. I would have just been laughing my ass off.
I will say though, I felt a little gypped. They only showed the tentacle. They didn't show the actual thing.
Well, no.
Don't even go there with showing, electronic animatronic animals, because we'll get some sort of, 5-tentacled spider this time,
No, absolutely not. Here's what it was. Here's what I think it was. I think they took one of those blow-up pool alligator floaties, and somebody was on the other end of the trash can just going, hey, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like the damn thing had hind legs. and I'm like, wait a minute! You put on this great cinematography, right? This great cinema spectacle with biker ninjas and a 6-foot guy with a sword, and then you mean to tell me you can't come up with something better? You went down to the pool shop and got a floaty and went, "I'm gonna get you."
And that's how And that's how they end, by the way. They fade out of them just throwing garbage at the thing, trying to get the hell out of the thing. They don't even show them getting out. So at this point, if they don't show up, like, on Monday, then it's just like, oh, I guess the thing ate them. So it's just like, oh, we have no Raw Tag Champs now. New tournament for the belts. There we go. In memory of the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders.
Oh, God. It's just a damn mess. Speaking of a mess, let's talk about Braun Strowman versus Braun Strowman versus The Miz and Morrison.
Did you really expect this match to be like, a good match?
I expected something a little bit better. Like when the Miz pulls Morrison off and like has that awkward stare, it's like cover him. Just shut the fuck up and cover him.
Yeah. You know what I think is tough too? Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think what's weird is too with the Miz and Morrison, because they were playing up the comedic aspect of the storyline, where they were pulling pranks on him just to piss him off and everything, and get the title shot.
Which that was super smart, by the way.
Yes. I feel like they didn't have, because they had that thing that we think was a Raw tag team title match before. Because that was coming up next, I feel like at times Miz and Morrison kind of had to feel like, well, we can't play up too much comedy aspects of this because then we're going to have a problem because the next thing following it is all comedy, pretty much.
I'm sorry. It was Drew and Bobby went before the Raw tag titles.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. But
that's my fault.
The point is, though, is that I feel like, yeah. I feel like, though, Miz and Morrison, there were a few moments where they could have done something. They should have had a little bit of a comedic element to it. I know they did their music video thing, which was silly. But, they could have done a few more of those elements. Only because you played up the comedic angle of it, you might as well follow through with it in the match. Like, that would just be my opinion, just to round it up in a nice, pretty bow and have Braun walk out the win and make the heels look like asses, at the end of the day. Because Miz and Morrison look great when they do that. When they look like two goofs, that's when they shine the best when they're together.
Butters?
I mean, this match disappointed me. I was kind of hoping for a little more. Kind of hoping, maybe we get, that. But I think Miz pulling him away was more of I want the title more because they were told before the match, hey, this isn't a, co-champions thing. It's going to be a winner take all match. And so it's like Miz has been wanting to be, WWE champion again more and more. And it's like, I want that chance, so screw you. Like, so you're going to break up Miz and Morrison now already? Are you teasing it, or like, because something like that? That's that could be a big teaser to. Hey, I think we might split them up now and give them both that singles run. And I would have liked to have seen a little more out of this match than just that, quick and done.
Well, and I think it was kind of inevitable when you say that the winner's going to be the Universal Champion. It's kind of inevitable to say, hey. These two aren't going to come at odds for the title. Right? Especially knowing Morrison's never held the title. And The Miz is The Miz. So. But yeah, not a lot to take from it. It was okay. I mean, they go for 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And most of that just was okay. Braun comes out on top and sets up for Smackdown on Friday.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, when you put yourself in the situation of a handicap match, but only one person wins. When you did this with Zayn and Owens, when AJ was champion at the Rumble a few years back, both of them could win the belt if they pinned AJ. They would both be champ. So it's like, okay, I could see where they're twisting this to make it work, Whereas this one, it's like, well, like you were saying, Ritz, it's inevitable that Braun would win because, like, one guy walks away with the belt. It's like, okay, but if you crown Morrison or Miz, that's it. The team's over.
Correct. Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, 13 minutes and 15 seconds with one of the dumbest friggin' endings I've ever seen.
This was the real comedy.
Yeah. Now, that being said, the ending sucked, but Lashley versus Drew was really good.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't one-sided for too long. It wasn't, a beatdown, a squash match, or anything like that. Like, there were points where you could say, you know what? Bobby's going to win. The rumors are true. Bobby's going to win the title for all the reasons, and Drew's going to win it back when fans come back to town.
And you know what? I wouldn't be mad at that, honestly.
Okay, go on.
I wouldn't be mad because, it would be nice to see Drew get that pop for finally, for winning that belt. It wouldn't be bad for Lashley winning it for, like you said, for all the other reasons. But I feel like it's time for Lashley to hold the belt.
So I think every TNA did it wrong. WWE did it wrong. Nobody's ever really used Lashley properly. Right? And I say TNA did it wrong because they put all the titles on him. Nobody wants to see that. I don't need Bobby Lashley winning the X Division title. I don't think I've ever used those words in a sentence out loud. Or the word
you don't think X Division when you think Bobby Lashley. So.
I don't think X Division period lately. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. That's weird. Okay. Now that I had that moment. But no, I don't think they properly used him. And Prism says, I really like Morrison and Lucha Underground. That's where Morrison found his stride for me. Because they're all crazy down there and he fit right in.
Yep.
But as far as like the match, right? The Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre match, it was solid. It was good. MVP didn't play too big of a role. Having MVP with Bobby Lashley is a good thing, right? It's the right mouthpiece that you need. Because Bobby's not a good talker. He's never been. Right? Even when they let him talk in TNA, not really a good talker. Promos usually sucked. Pretty bad. But yeah, and then you bring Lana out. I have nothing against Lana, right? It fits the story.
It sets up for Monday night.
But you tainted a really good match with such a schmozzy finish.
Did you really
sorry.
Fine. Did you really think they were going to give it a good ending?
One could have hoped.
Go ahead.
All right. I was gonna say I'm thinking that they may be considering doing it again, this time with Extreme Rules. That's my reasoning as why they did that finish. Honestly, I mean, I'm just looking at it from this perspective. They're trying to get to SummerSlam. I hate to say that, but that's really how these pay-per-views work out. We're trying to get to SummerSlam. Let's just call it what it is. So I think in terms of there being a gap rivalry, this isn't a bad one to have, because like you said, it wasn't a bad match, and it didn't need any of the regular, it didn't have any of the regular spots. It was just power, because that's what these two are capable of doing. It's power for both of them. Drew a little bit, both are technically able to do it. Both can pick each other up, slam each other, and do all of those creative moves there. So it blends well. It meshes well. My opinion is I think maybe they want to. WWE has a history of, if it works, let's do it again. Sometimes they do that to their own detriment, but they do it a lot where, okay, these guys work together. They work well. Let's put them back in the ring together. Why not?
And I know Lashley and Drew fought a little bit in TNA. Edie says, it's not Bobby Lashley's time yet. Drew McIntyre has a good run right now. Probably drop it at the end of the year, early next year. Bobby versus Brock at SummerSlam will probably change Vince's mind about Lashley soon. I don't think we're getting Bobby versus Brock, first of all.
I don't think we'll see Brock soon, period.
I don't think we'll see Brock soon either. Second of all, it could be Bobby's time. Right? I think Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, is going to be the Edge John Cena of this era right now. Right? Not Edge. Well, Edge John Cena, Orton John Cena, right? How these guys always had a feud. They always, were after each other in one way, shape, or form. I think Bobby and Drew are going to be that for each other. Right? Because think about it, though. Who else do you have that can stand up to Drew?
Right now on Raw, I don't think anybody.
In terms of obviously the size, no.
I mean,
Size, power, complement well.
Orton would be the only other one I could think of.
Maybe Aleister Black, but somebody's going to have to take a heel turn, and they're not going to do that right now.
Why would they have to take a heel turn? I mean,
Well, I don't know. With Aleister, it's what you could do. The thing is with Aleister is that I feel like he's been. They've done so many weird things with him already, where it's just like, okay, either what are you going to do with him? Is he going to be a heel for a while, or is he going to be a babyface for a while? What is his motivation? What the hell are you doing with him? Because I feel like at times they're just throwing him out there. I feel like they're spinning their wheels with him. It's like, that's not a guy you spin your wheels with. There should be a complete plethora of ideas going through your head, and you can't think of one, or is Vince shooting them all down? You know?
I think so. I think Aleister is a victim of no fans.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that crowd reaction to say, oh, we're behind this, or God, this sucks.
I will agree with that, and I think that's what's going on right now with a lot of these feuds, a lot of these matches. Is, you know, like you said, they're throwing things out there because it's a victim of no fans. You got no fans to drive you which way, left or right. But I mean, how can you say no fans when you can go Twitter, Facebook, you know, all these others? Why not, you know, look at that as, you know, your current fans for now? I know you got to look at it after the show, but
yeah, you're gonna have it to where you'll get that You'll get people, you know, what's the phrase? Armchair quarterbacking after the fact, right? Hindsight's always 20/20, right? I can sit here and rebook Hell in a Cell from last year. You know, we could all sit here and rebook December to Dismember from 10 years ago. I don't know if we would do a better job, but
we could all sit back and rebook Montreal.
No, I think you need to keep Montreal is like wrestling Flashpoint.
Well, I'm just saying you can rebook it to avoid the crazy shit. But you know, that's if you want to do that.
I think if you were to rebook Montreal, all that would do was save Brett from having to retire too early with the Goldberg kick.
Possibly.
It
Maybe.
Going to WCW and then him and
Yeah,
Goldberg.
but he was going anyway.
I don't know that he was going that soon, though.
Go back and listen.
I didn't even mean for that.
There've been yes, the damn title hits you in the back of the head. God, I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna get you in 1 second, Edie. Hold on. Right, there have been plenty. Wow, you're such a tool. There have been plenty of interviews where Brett has said he was on his way out of the company.
Yeah.
Right? WCW made him an offer that Vince couldn't match, and Vince said go. Right? I think you get Bret Hart back in the WWE a lot sooner. Right? But that the thing with Goldberg still happens.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, you can't change how Goldberg was as a wrestler. So, you know.
Oh, you can't. No, you can't. If you mind putting that thank you there, Ralph. Lashley versus Drew at Extreme Rules match in an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules. This is how I booked the match. Lashley almost beat Drew with help of MVP. Lana distracts. This time kick MVP in the balls. Drew. What's everybody with dick kicks lately? Drew wins. Lashley angry. Lana terrified. Lashley put her. No, absolutely not going to happen. Lashley put it in full Nelson. Probably not happen, but it may be a good idea. Especially after the last 72 hours? No.
Right? And honestly, even if they did set up something where, Lashley was to, go after Lana, that would just be a setup for Rusev return, and that ain't happening right now.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I was going to say, to answer the question of what you said before, why is everybody obsessed with dick kicks?
How is that your takeaway?
Because I immediately, wheels turned in my head when you said that. It's like, why is everybody so obsessed with it? And I will tell you why. Ever since Daniel Bryan kicked AJ in the nuts and beat him for the belt, ever since then, everybody's like, oh, that's a great finish. Because Daniel Bryan did it. That's why.
Really, knowing you as a person, I was really scared of what was going to come out of your mouth.
Come on. Well, I had to pass up on the Carmella thing, so I wasn't going to go too far. So relax.
Oh, shit. And it does set up for Monday where MVP's talking to Lashley about Lana costing him the match. Lana interrupts, argues with MVP, who calls her a thought. Hope I said that right. Lashley told her that his career started going downhill when he married her and he wants a divorce. Oh, joy of joy. We're getting another divorce.
Welcome to divorce court.
That should be WWE's like moniker.
What,
underneath the logo. Yeah.
Kicking the hashtag kick in the ball. Next tagline pay-per-view. Ah, shit. I swear to God.
Every match has to have a low blow in it, or you can't win. You have to kick them in the balls at least once to get a pinfall or submission.
What is this going to be like? TNA's Lethal Lockdown?
Yes, and it's the entire show.
I was gonna say, that's just gonna be, the name of the next pay-per-view, Low Blow.
Yeah, and then it's a 2 out of 3 dick kick match.
Show over. Fuck this.
Well, we're giving WWE gold right here, man. They need to take this and run with it. Seriously.
No, absolutely not. First of all, low blow, really? See, even Ralph's confused. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ralph. That's like the most perfect thing ever.
Time. We got the best one. Dick Kick City. That's what it's got to be. That's got to be the name of the pay-per-view. Dick Kick City.
I mean, hey, we've had Great Balls of Fire.
Yes. That's
no, don't
Dick
you
Kick
dare
City.
bring that back.
Yeah,
Horrible.
No, we'll bring back Great Balls of Fire and it'll just be low blow matches like you said. Because then everybody's ball is going to be on fire after that match.
God, I hate both of you.
One last time. Also, there has to be a match where one of the female wrestlers has to kick you in the nuts before you can actually win or lose.
Maddie, what goes through your head?
Anything that can be trolley-like.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Greg Milagovic chiming back in. By the way, why did Lana have to confide in Natty, who once again was ready to cry? Poor Natty. I don't know what he's trying to say here. Can cancel culture cancel Natty, please, in those goddamn cat ears? Side note. Are you guys following Natalia and her sister on Instagram and YouTube?
No.
I've seen a little bit, yeah.
Go do it.
Okay.
You'll be happy you did.
You'll be. Greg, and that I'm surprised Greg hasn't brought that up. It'll change your entire perspective of Natalia. And the entire Neidhart family. Apparently they're all twisted.
Wait a minute. You didn't know that already from Jim?
No. That twisted and this twisted. Maddie, my dude. Totally different.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
We're talking. Jim was I'm a concerned kind of twisted. Natty and her sister are the what's the word I'm looking for? The tissue kind of twisted.
Well,
Oh,
let me
Jesus.
put it this way. Let me put it to you this way. Natty showed her sister how to do a sharpshooter, and she had to edit the video because she was in a dress.
They both were.
Yes, they both were. She had to edit the video because certain things were shown real quick in that video that shouldn't have been shown.
The most recent one involved whipped cream.
So I guess they don't believe in underwear in that family.
Moving on. Asuka versus Nia Jax ends in a double countout.
Dumbest shit I've ever heard or seen. Like you build up for this match. You know this God. You know this monster versus Asuka, and you end it in a double flipping countout. Kiss my backside.
That was the most southern redneck thing you could have ever said.
If they ever bring back the Kiss My Ass match to WWE, they have to play that clip from Butters right there. Kiss
This
my
show's gone
backside.
completely off the rails.
Well, I'm trying to be a little PG, but damn, it's so hard with stupid shit like this.
My biggest issue is that it ends in the double countout, right? It wasn't a bad match, right? Asuka Nia, it wasn't bad. It was good, but it was a match, right? And then you do a double countout, and you really don't follow that up on Monday with anything.
From what I heard, they were trying to save. For some reason, they were trying to save both of them in a sense. They didn't really want Nia to get pinned, but they didn't want Asuka to really get pinned. And I'm like, then why the hell do you book the two of them? Like, if you don't want one to pin the other, or you don't want to make one look worse than the other, then for the love of God, book somebody else.
Yeah, but now you've got on Monday Asuka versus Nia. Asuka wins after.
No. From what I've seen, it's Asuka versus Flair.
No. This was this past Monday.
Oh.
Asuka versus Nia. Asuka wins after, and I quote, Nia shoves a referee, John Cone.
Yep.
And then Asuka rolls her up.
Right as Cone was going for the disqualification. Oh, you rolled her up? 1, 2, 3, real quick.
So, that being said, and now you have Asuka versus Charlotte Monday night.
Shoot me now.
Oh boy. I wonder.
Yay!
So Charlotte comes back to Monday Night Raw and gets an automatic title shot? Go piss on a duck or something.
WWE, please continue to book like crap so we can hear more of this. Please.
Piss on a duck.
Oh man, I will say I understand the concern because anytime I ever see Charlotte and Asuka and a title's on the line and Asuka has the belt, that's like, oh great. Well, congratulations, Charlotte, you win another one.
The only way I see this ending, because they've always been going Charlotte or Asuka's never beat Charlotte. Asuka's never beat Charlotte. So, and you know what was it, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, Charlotte versus Asuka. You know, Charlotte still won that match. So the only way I see this ending, Nia, you know, comes in, interferes in the match, disqualification on I don't care who, and then we get a triple threat at Extreme Rules. Because I swear to God, you're going to hear my rage and anger. I'm going to pull a freaking Ritz Monday night if Charlotte Flair wins that damn title again.
Oh, and you work Monday, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I'll spoil it. I'll spoil it for you.
Oh, I'll probably spoil myself when I go to lunch.
No. You'll know before then. You'll know before then. Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. Sheamus wins. Moving on.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Bayley defeat Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, and the Iconics.
Boom.
This is after Bliss hits the Twisted Bliss on Peyton Royce. Sasha rolls Bliss out of the way and pins her for the win.
Somebody came up with a side note. This is the first time Sasha's actually defended a title with a pinfall on somebody. That she's actually pinned somebody in a match for the title on the line. Normally when she defends her titles, I think it ends in something other than her pinning her opponent.
Probably a submission because, the bank statement. Just throwing that out there.
Actually, most of her title matches ended up with her losing. So, that's usually how it goes.
So what you're saying is, never mind. Nope, not going there. I'm not going there. You're a bad influence, Maddie Sensudi. A bad influence.
Well, that's why you should have known when you sent that text out to me and Jerome and I think Frank, where it's like, okay, you know what you were getting. This is your fault. It's your fault.
It's my fault. Okay.
Hey, you can blame me a little bit. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it tonight, okay?
Well, I always blame you, Butters, so that's a given. That's a given. Okay, so Backlash, though, not a bad show. It ends really well. Like, the last hour and a half is pretty solid. You got to get through some bullshit to get there, but it's still good. It's still good.
I mean, you have some, like you said, you have some ups and downs. You have some fun stuff, with the ninjas.
You're like what the Ninja Turtles rejected when they were born.
Oh man, there's a joke in there, and I am not gonna make it, but it popped right in my head too. I'm like, no.
Edie says Sasha and Bayley probably cheat on Monday, and the Iconics win at Extreme Rules. Then Sasha and Bayley finally fall apart. Sasha Banks playing mind games. Maybe.
Okay, if Sasha's playing mind games, she's one of the worst players of mind games in the history of mind games. Like, seriously. Like, she has had Bayley in checkmate how many times? And she just said, nah, you know what? I'm just going to let Bayley survive another 6 or 7 months and hold on to a championship that I could have easily won from her by now. Like, amazing.
I mean, because that's a hell of a game of chess to be playing.
Yeah. You know how they have the...
Do what?
Go ahead, Andy.
You're not even playing, like, Star Trek 3-dimensional chess.
That's what I was going to say.
Like, this isn't Wizard's chess. This isn't Strategio. I mean, this isn't even the damn game you play in Star Wars with the little holographic monsters and they eat. No, this is like, and again, I'm a Star Trek nerd, right? But this is like the one game that they played with their fingers and it involved the lights lighting up and Data was the only one that could beat the weird fat alien De Niro over there. And
let the Wookiee win.
Let the Wookiee win. So I'm looking over Monday night, right? And we already talked about Randy Orton and Christian having their little thing. Kevin Owens and Angel Garza happens, not a big deal. We already talked about MVP and Bobby Lashley. But so we have come full circle, gentlemen.
What's
the
that?
Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team titles. Never happens. Why?
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
According to the Ritzatron 4000.
What, that white screen you put up?
Yes.
That blinded me.
Would you like it again?
No, that's okay.
Then shut up. This was set up when Akira Tozawa and a group of ninjas once again interrupted the Viking Profits backstage and demanded a sequel to their fight at Backlash. Ivar and Montez Ford simultaneously pinned Ninjas after a pair of frog splashes. After the match, Tozawa challenged them to fight his Super Ninja, but the Viking Prophets were bailed out by, for some reason, the Big Show. The Big Show punched out some ninjas.
Hey, it's the Big Show versus the Big Ninja.
I swear to God, if Monday night there's a 10-man tag team match, Akira Tozawa, 3 ninjas, and the Super Ninja versus the Viking Prophets and the Big Show, I will quit.
And the only, but before we go any further, there has to be one way this match ends. Big Show does a heel turn, and the Ninjas and Akira Tozawa win.
The only way this match begins is with Teddy Long coming out and making that match.
You're right. And you tag him with the Undertaker.
This is so weird. And then we get another segment. Seth Rollins comes out to the ring to respond to rumors that Dominic Mysterio is coming to Raw to confront him. Ray shows up, still wearing an eye patch, and told Rollins that if he puts his hand on Dominic, he'd end Rollins. Rollins says that Murphy and Austin Theory were already looking for Dominic, but not very well because Dominic jumps Rollins from behind. Murphy and Theory ran to the ring, but Dominic hopped the rail and escaped. I do like that Dominic's getting some of this screen time, and Seth's being cool enough to be like, yeah, I'll put the kid over.
Yeah,
it says a lot about Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
How long do you think will it be until we start seeing Dominic in matches?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Dominic and Mysterio versus Rollins and his lackey.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks.
I mean, it took him forever, so it was just
Yeah, but see now that he's here, it's gonna be like 2 weeks, man. That kid will have fought 7 times before Extreme Rules. MVP and Bobby Lashley challenged Drew McIntyre and, for some god-awful reason, R-Truth, to make their advertised tag team match a winner-take-all match for both the 24/7 championship, because that's relevant again, and the WWE championship. Truth accepts on behalf of his team, then later revealed that he'd gone to management to make sure that only the WWE title's on the line. So, hey, this title right here, the one that we can defend whenever we want, yeah, that's not on the line, but yours is.
Yeah, that makes no sense. But I mean, okay, do you think? Oh, go ahead, Butters.
Sense in an R-Truth perspective. I mean, come on, it is R-Truth we're talking about here.
Okay, good point. Good point. But also, do you think that maybe they? I don't know how this was possible, but do you think because they kept the 24/7 championship on Gronk after WrestleMania that they jumped the shark with the 24/7 championship? I don't know how that's humanly possible, considering the fact it's the 24/7 fucking title, but they managed to do it. So
I'm gonna say yes. Well, and this is another thing that's a victim of COVID.
True.
You know, I think they're keeping it somewhat relevant. Everybody's having a good time with it, but it's still you can only do so much, right? The Iconics defeated Natalya and Liv Morgan. After the match, the Iconics challenged Bayley and Sasha to a tag team match next week.
Oh boy!
Ric Flair wants to know what's next for Charlotte. What does Charlotte do? She woos.
Woo!
Great promo. Apollo Crews defeats Shelton Benjamin. Earlier in the night, MVP offered representation to Cruz. Benjamin tried to pin Cruz with his feet on the ropes but got caught. Cruz rolls him up and held the ropes to win the match. I love it. I love that Cruz is getting more screen time. I love that Benjamin got some screen time.
So, with this whole Apollo Crews using the ropes for leverage, could we see a slow heel turn?
No, Chuckles. Benjamin tried to use the ring.
No, Cruz used it right afterwards.
Oh, yes. No, I do see that here.
But, could we see, because that's usually a heel tactic. It's not really, something a babyface does. Could we see, Shelton Benjamin, possibly, looking at joining with MVP and Lashley? Could we also see, Apollo Crews join up with him? Even though he said no at first, but, I mean, could we see a potential, a big stable with all four of them, via maybe like a newer version of the Nation?
Or this, it's the newer version of Titus Worldwide. The only difference is they actually win matches.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. If MVP slides to the ring in a Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, I'll quit. All right, so let's keep the crazy train rolling here. And I say crazy train because I can't believe I'm reading this next sentence. R-Truth was briefly confronted by Akira Tozawa and the Ninjas, including a ninja referee.
Yes, the ninja referee. I absolutely cried laughing when I saw the ninja ref. I thought, oh my God. I mean, I think, okay, the ninja thing was funny when you did it at Backlash. When you do it on Raw, it's like, okay. Then the ninja ref, I don't know why. I just started laughing. I couldn't help it.
But the ninja ref you're in on, right? Okay,
I was in on the ninja ref.
Backlash, it's okay. Monday Night Raw, it's meh. Oh my God, they put him on his striped shirt. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever.
Hey,
I don't know why. Like, I just immediately the Chikara side of me came out at that moment, and I just started laughing.
That's what you add to your 10-man match next week. You have a ninja ref for the 10-man match.
It's a crooked official. He's only going to count for the ninjas. He's not going to count for the other team. And he only counts in...
It's Ritz.
And he counts...
Hate me.
And he counts in Japanese. He counts in Japanese, too.
What did I ever do to you?
Hey, if we're going to do this, we're going all the way. You ain't half-assing anything here. This is going all the way with this. So again, and the crazy train keeps rolling, right? I think the theme song of Monday Night Raw should be Crazy Train. The Big Show, who is now an honorary member of the Viking Prophets, had the bright idea that the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders should have a wrestling match for next week's show for the tag titles. Oh, funny. It's kind of like they tried to do that once, and it didn't actually happen.
They tried to do it like 4 times. And then McIntyre and Truth beat MVP and Lashley. Truth and McIntyre hit the old Midnight Express rocket launcher on MVP for the win. Ninja Coach, Ninja Women, Ninja Manager, Ninja Tiny, and Ninja... I hate you, Edie.
Hey, yeah, Ninja Tiny. I mean, we've got 7-foot-tall Ninja, so why can't we have Ninja Swoggle?
Yeah.
You did not just say Ninja Swoggle.
Bring Swoggle back and have him put him in a ninja outfit, and there we go, Ninja Swoggle.
They're your new Raw Tag Team Champions, 7-foot-tall big ninja.
Hey, listen, you say this now, but that 7-foot ninja and Ninja Swoggle will be a better tag team than Braun Strowman and Nicholas. So let's put it out there. They will be a better tag team champions.
Hey, we can get a huge frog tadpole splash. It'll be 10 feet of fury.
Yes, off the 7-foot ninja.
What the hell is going on?
We're embracing this ninja thing. Why not at this point?
Like I'm expecting for Akira Tozawa to be standing backstage one day and just go, Ninja Ranger powers! And we cut to some graphic and it's like, shoop, shoop. Shit. Bailey and Sasha Banks make an appearance to celebrate Bailey's birthday. They're interrupted by the Iconics, who once again issue a challenge. Banks and Bailey told them not to feel special because they won a short match. Peyton slaps Sasha in the face. Bailey accepts the challenge. That match will happen Monday night on Raw. So Ron Buckley chiming in. No one can beat Strowman and Nicholas. Oh God.
So
I swear to God, if we ever get Super Ninja and Ninja Swoggle versus Braun Strowman and Nicholas, that's when I'll know wrestling has died.
no, that's when you know Vince is dead.
No, that's when I know how Vince should die.
That's such good shit, pal.
And we all know what happened when Orton defeated Christian with a dick kick.
Real quick, rewind back to the Bailey accepting the Iconics match for next week.
Sure.
That kind of, to me, showed me that Bailey and Sasha were beating Shotzi and Tegan at NXT. I said, really? You couldn't just, wait until, SmackDown for the Iconics to go, we want a match on Monday?
Well, no, because the Iconics aren't on SmackDown.
They can make that one-time appearance. They get twice a year. Or 4 times a year or some shit like that.
But I will say, though, I agree. Way to ruin the match. Way to ruin the ending for us. Not that I thought they were going to take the belts off of Bailey and Sasha in the first place, but still, now I have no I have no reason to watch the match. It was a good match, though. I did watch it.
It was. But it was just a way to give away the ending. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I just All right.
Just enough about this. Too much talk on Bailey and Sasha.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the third member of the Fix. It is Ryan, the Myth, the Legend Brodo. Guys, make sure you check out the Fix every Wednesday night. Frank Vespi, Ralph Del Vecchio, Ryan Brodo. They're all right there bringing you the best in Philly sports. You can also catch Ryan on Birds of a Feather as the producer, and he's on some second-rate wrestling show called Lazy Booking.
Okay, come on now. I'm on here. I never took one dig at you once, and now you're going to do that?
I have to keep it up. I have to maintain some kind of decorum.
Okay. But I will admit, I am very happy I made my appearance on Velocity, so...
Asshole.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Ryan just sent me a bit from Twitter regarding Carmella and Corey Graves, and it cuts to Puppet Vince saying it's such good shit. So Ron Buckley chiming in saying, how long do y'all think it'll take till WWE's back to normal? Normal's not the same anymore.
At least till this whole COVID thing kind of slows down. I mean, till we can, till we get more and more people, able to come into the arena. No, it's not going to be at full capacity. But I mean, honestly, like you said, normal's not going to be normal anymore. And I honestly probably won't think maybe till next year.
I mean, that's possible. And the truth is until there's, and this goes for everything, until there is certified, CDC tested, FDA approved treatments, not even necessarily a vaccine, but even treatments to where, okay, you can be treated for this and it won't have any long-term effects on you, then that's when you start seeing things go back to normal. But until that happens, we're stuck where we're at.
Ryan sent me another one. All right. So Chrome chiming in. What's up, fellas? Sorry I'm late to the party. Chrome, God, this show's gone off the rails quick.
Keyword of the day is ninja.
Yes, that is today's secret word. So it's Carmelo and Corey Graves says blank, and it's a video of Montez Ford singing "I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready."
You know, at this point,
It's so bad.
at this point, if there's ever a moment in time, if Graves and Carmella make a tape, I don't think anyone will be surprised. I don't think anybody in the world would be surprised that that thing is available for people to watch.
It's
For anybody.
so weird.
I don't.
So wait, what do we do when someone says ninja?
I would say take a shot, but I don't know if we'd make it through.
No, because knowing Buckley, he'd sit there, right? Ninja, enter, ninja, enter. I'm gonna get him drunk. Ninja, enter. Oh God, Chrome's. See, this is why I take my shots when I do, Maddie. No shock, it's velocity. Most people are half paying attention anyway. You can talk about dog farts and nobody will know the difference. I mean, we're pretty damn close right now. But let's be real, we are pretty damn close.
Well, now that we mention it, now that you have the dog farts in there, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in the next cinematic from Vince. Good shit.
God, Maddie, shut up. They might be watching.
Good.
Hey, dog fart, bring back the dog food.
There you go. Dark Kennel from Hell match number 2.
No, don't you dare. It's without fail. It's without fail. All right, let's go. Edie says, which WWE developmental talent tested positive, and all WWE employee be tested now? Should AEW, Impact, or New Japan test the wrestler because wrestling is a contact sport? I think you have to test the wrestler. As far as the identity of who it was, I don't think...
It hasn't been, nobody's been said, nothing's been confirmed. The talent hasn't been named. I don't think they're going to because it's just a developmental talent and it's not really a big name, so we're really not going to know. But as far as testing wise, yes, they should be testing them every week at least. If you're going to keep having these shows, you need to have them tested, and you can scan their forehead for a temperature all you want. All that's going to do is tell you not a damn thing.
Well, I think you need to monitor symptoms.
You do, but some people are asymptomatic, so they're not going to show symptoms.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think but also in the same sentence, right? Testing you may test them and it may not come up with anything. Right? So you need to do both. You need to test people and you need to monitor for symptoms.
And also, in terms of revealing the name of the talent who tested positive, this happened where players in the NHL, they also tested positive, but they never released the names of the players. And I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion, out of respect for them. I mean, they've already got the coronavirus. At least, there's no reason to reveal their name to the public.
It's bad. It's bad enough as is the situation they're in now. So why are you going to make the situation worse by, telling everybody, hey, so-and-so just got corona?
Yeah.
Let them be. Let them heal up. Let them be. Don't, all that's going to do is add fuel to somebody's fire, and then they're just going to take it away, and you're just going to kind of ruin somebody's day because they've already, their day's already ruined with that they got coronavirus. Now you're going to ruin it even more by blasting their name out there, and somebody's going to, like I said, it's going to add fuel to their fire, and they're just going to fucking run with it.
Yeah, and Chrome hits the nail on the head. You can't release that name. It's up to the talent if they want their name released as well, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of different factors there. And if I'm talent, right, I don't want my name out there.
No.
I don't want people knowing I have this virus, right? Because we're going to jump to conclusions. It's going to create an issue.
Because especially when you go back to work, yeah, everybody at work's going to know who you are, but then you're really going to be like, most people are going to want to keep away from you because you know what? You already had it once. Who's to say you might not get it again? I don't want to get it, so I'm going to stay, a million feet away from you. Or, they may not get to show up to work for a while. WWE may just be like, sit at home till, this blows over, till we get a cure, till something. And that's just
Exactly.
they're losing,
So over on NXT, okay, big news to come out of NXT this week is Adam Cole comes down to the ring. He talks about his NXT championship reign. He might want to take Keith Lee's North American title. This brings out Lee, Gargano, and Balor. William Regal announces that next week, Keith Lee would defend against Balor and Gargano in a triple threat match. The winner of that match moves on to fight Gargano in a winner-take-all match.
I think in the North American title match, specifically, I'm thinking that they may just decide to rocket strap Keith Lee, because I'm thinking that I don't think they take the North American title off of him. I think he keeps it. I think you protect. You get the pin on Gargano. He can take the fall. He'll get pinned. That'll end the match. Then I could actually see Keith Lee beating Cole and taking the NXT title from him.
Yeah,
and he'll be the first double champion in NXT history, and that would be huge for him moving forward. I could see it happening.
He'd be the first double champion as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chrome is talking to you, Butters. He says, if someone has it once, that doesn't make them any more dangerous than the next person. Once you cycle through, you're good.
Yeah, but not everybody knows that, though. That's the thing.
And you do make a good point.
Not everybody knows that, and then even if they did know that, they're still going to want to stay away, period. I mean, it's that reaction to some of these people that, some of them are germaphobes, some of them just don't want to, get sick in general. It just...
Yeah. Okay. And then Reed calls out Karrion Kross for some reason. Bronson Reed. That makes no sense to me. Cameron Grimes slashes Damian Priest tires. Drake Maverick gets put through a table after Escobar, Mendoza, and Wilde beat the crap out of him. Buckley says Ninja Strowman. I'm going to beat you, Buckley. And then Bayley and Sasha Banks defeat Tegan Knox and Blackheart. I'm skipping it. Blackheart. After the match, Io Shirai shows up and attacks Bayley and Banks.
That's an interesting one.
What do you guys think about that?
I don't know where this is heading because, I like the idea that, Io comes out there and whoops on some ass, but, where does that bring them? What does that do for them? What does that do for, does that bring Sasha and Bayley back for, Io to team up with somebody else? Does that...
This is what I'm thinking why they did that. I think it's like turf war mentality. NXT is Io's turf, and she's going to Sasha and Bayley are invading NXT for the night to defend their belts. So I'm going to beat the hell out of them because they beat us, and I'm going to reclaim whatever honor was possibly lost. I don't think that's possible that honor could be lost in that match, but what I would say though is I think that that's the reason and the mentality behind it. I really can't think of any other reason why Io would come out there, because if you think about it logically, why would the champ give two shits what happens with the women's tag belts? It does not affect her in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. No, you guys hit the nail on the head, right? There's really nothing else I can add to that. So we'll move on. Smackdown. Smackdown starts off with the coronation of AJ Styles, where the face that runs the place is introduced to the bro who runs the show.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't let that be a tagline.
Hey, you know what? If they're watching, you just made it a tagline.
That's the next pay-per-view.
I hope that title hits you again in the face. I would have died if it fell and hit him in the face again.
If he dropped it.
Yeah.
Hey, if I dropped it, it'd be a nut punch, right?
God.
So the belt would have been Ric Flair there for a moment. But anyway. But what I would say, too, about that, in your house, the tagline, bro that runs the show, WWE in your house. Why? Because they did rock bottom. You might as well go with bro that runs the show. Just full circle.
It honestly sounds like we keep saying Brodo runs the show.
Well, I mean, he does run my show in Lazy Booking, so there you go.
But AJ and Matt put on a fantastic match, to Chrome's point.
Oh, clinic, boys and girls.
It ends with Styles going off the top rope to try to hit the phenomenal forearm. Riddle catches him and hits him with the Bro Garrick for the pinfall. Very, very good match between these two. Great way to start off SmackDown, and great way to insert what's his name, Matt Riddle, into a storyline, a more higher profile storyline.
Hey, maybe we'll see. Maybe he'll come off with a IC title win early on.
Like it could happen.
Maybe we'll see a Ninja Warrior. It's easy.
Oh, hey, there's Ryan. I like this sound. So you go from a phenomenal match with Matt Riddle and AJ Styles to Shorty G defeating Mojo Rawley. That's right. Mojo Rawley was on SmackDown and he actually wrestled.
Boy, you talk about yin and yang. You literally went from Gage is at 10, you got the pedal on the freaking floor, you are going a million miles an hour, and you come to a stop. Like, you hit brick wall stop when you just throw that match out there.
You hit your hand so hard, there was actually a break in the audio.
It wasn't even that hard.
So Chrome brings in a point, unrelated, but it's huge for WWE to purchase Evolve in its library. So much backlog content to add to the network, especially with a lot of the NXT talent and others. Go back and look at some of those Evolve cards. They're stacked. Did that deal end up going down? I know it was talked about.
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything yet, but I mean, it could be. I'm gonna look it up right now while
Ryan Brodo chimes in. His name is Chad Gable.
I'm still waiting for that Too Cool reunion and Shorty G's there. Rikishi, Scotty, and Shorty G. It has to happen.
I wonder if Ryan Brodo just jumped out his window.
He may have, but I kind of force him to do that almost every week. So.
Oh. Yeah. Miz and Morgan. I just pictured Brian jumping out the window. and like, I wonder how that would go though. I don't think he would. You think he'd jump out feet first or just dive?
He would dive. He looks like the guy who, when he played baseball, he'd slide head first.
He was taking a header?
Yeah, he would take the header.
Mrs. Morrison hosted Miz TV with Mandy Rose. They bring out Sonya Deville to confront Rose. Deville says Rose gets opportunities because of her look. She's going to make her outside look as ugly as her inside. Essentially the same promo she cut a few weeks ago. Deville and Rose brawl, and when Deville leaves the ring, Miz stops Rose, and Rose slaps the Miz.
So what are we going to set up for Mandy and Otis versus Sonya and The Miz?
Maybe. The window is no longer a window. I do see Prism jumps in, and I'm glad he brings it up. I was going to bring it up closer to the end of the show, but Prism says, someone asked Chrome, when is Alfonso Part 2? It was great. I had to go back and watch the rest of the first one after it was over. So, as of 3 hours ago, this Thursday night, live on Lazy Booking, will be Part 2 of Chrome's interview with Bill Alfonso. Guys, if you haven't watched Part 1, what are you waiting for? You need to go back. It's hysterical. Bill talks about everything, right? Leading up to his days in WCW and WWF. And it's there's so much more to talk about. I can only imagine. I can't even fathom. Let me go that far. What Part 2 is going to look like. So that'll be 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursday, right here on HDRadio.com. Ryan Brodo, I jump out everything first. Phrasing. But so this Sonya Mandy thing, here we go. Not a done deal, but it's there. Gabe's been working with WWE for a while, and every report said the intention is to only sell to the WWE. I mean, that makes sense. They have that partnership with them. So, as far as who are we talking about? DeVille and Mandy Rose. I don't hate it, right? Obviously, because I'm a Mandy Rose fan, and I'm a Sonya Deville fan.
Yeah.
What sucks, though, is if you follow them on social media, you see that, like, a couple days ago, they're on a boat, with Dana Brooke and Lana, and, it's like, okay, if we're going to be bitchy with each other, let's be bitchy, right? Have some sense of kayfabe. Just some.
Kayfabe is dead, and you know it.
I know it's dead, but have some. Just don't let it be known that I can see you guys hanging out.
Wrestlers don't have that these days. They don't care. All they care is that paycheck, baby.
That's another tagline, paycheck, baby. Anyway, I will say, I've come to the fact of if I want kayfabe, I'll just watch New Japan. At this point, I'm just reserved to that fact. Like, WWE's never going to do that. It's just how they are.
And I know, right? I guess it's just, if this segment was coming, now, if this segment doesn't happen on Friday, then we don't have this conversation, right? Because in my mind, the storyline's done, it's over with. We know they don't get along, right? But you can't have them on a boat with friends and family on, like, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a couple days later, they're beating the shit out of each other on TV because I don't like you. You just had her on a damn boat, right? I mean, that's where, like, I miss kayfabe. Say that again?
I said you could have thrown her off the boat, bitch.
Right? No, but that's where, like, part of me, as much as I love the real storylines and how we derive them from real life, there's still a part of me that misses some of the kayfabe elements of things.
I mean, the only way you're going to get kayfabe is, with the Undertaker.
Now, maybe we're not reading into this enough. Maybe she's just playing Sasha Banks' mind games. And it's going to take her 50 moves before she actually does anything.
So Prism has another question for Chrome, because Chrome says, Fonzie's amazing. Part 2 will be ECW heavy and some other stories sprinkled in. He teases stories about Piper, Barry Windham getting shot, and so much more. So Prism says, is there going to be more than 2 parts with Alfonso? 40 years is a long career. I could see potentially 4 or more for y'all, and he seemed to love every minute of it. I reserve that to Chrome to answer because I don't know. So, Chrome, answer the man. We're kind of running out of time here. We got about 20 minutes left. So we're gonna skip most of SmackDown because the rest of it I could just care less about. But we're gonna go to the big moment at the end of the show. Right? Firefly Funhouse comes back. Bray Wyatt, he's there. He's in the creepy Mr. Rogers gear. And he's talking about bringing back how he learned to bring back the dead, right? And Braun comes down to the ring, says he's over this whole Bray Wyatt thing, blah, 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 blah. Chrome says, my guess would be 2 parts, but we'll see how it goes. Cool, bet. And then Wyatt reverts back to his original Bray Wyatt form and says that it's his duty. He created Braun Strowman. He will destroy Braun Strowman. And Braun knows where to find him. All he has to do is follow the buzzards.
I loved this return of the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt. It was an amazing promo, and you just that ending to it. It made me love Bray Wyatt even more. Because I mean, now you got Bray Wyatt with 3 gimmicks. I mean, pulling I guess you could call it a Mick Foley. I mean,
there is no guess. It is. It's the 3 faces of Wyatt.
But I mean, I actually like this coming back instead of seeing the Fiend take on Bray Wyatt. The Fiend take on Bray Wyatt. The Fiend take on Braun Strowman. So it'll be great to see Wyatt family Bray taking on Strowman.
Sorry, Butters. Sorry, Butters.
Is this lazy booking, or is this in this very ring? Because Chrome is still just like firing at you. It doesn't stop.
Chrome had a seat on the show tonight. He had things that prevented him from coming on, but he wants to know
that he's at midnight, hard full mast. I mean, come on.
Yeah, here, let me put it to you this way, and we're gonna talk about Undertaker in just a second, right? But about halfway through chapter 4, when they start talking about how he's not on 35, and after his match with Goldberg, how he says he's done, and his conversation that he has with Vince and everything like that, like right around that time, I'm like, oh, we're going here. I'm not ready. Me as a human being, I'm not ready for this. And so, I'm very excited for tomorrow. I know it's going to drop early, and it's going to take everything in my power, because I like watching it at night. Don't ask me why. It's crazy. It's weird. But there are certain things where you have to watch in complete darkness, and that's one of them. And I don't know if I'm ready for it. But back to the 3 faces of Wyatt. As Chrome says, Ryan Brodo nailed it from day one. This is the 3 faces of Wyatt, and it's fantastic.
Now, could we see maybe one day at a Royal Rumble the 3 faces of Wyatt like Mick Foley?
I actually predicted one of those. I hope it does happen.
I was talking about it today. I would like to see it happen, and a weird part of me wants it to be where the Fiend's the last one, the last of the faces that shows up. Like, go creepy Mr. Rogers. No, I'm sorry. Go Bray Wyatt, creepy Mr. Rogers, and then the Fiend. Fight me, Prism. A raging ninja for that last ride episode. That's a good one. I like that. Am I gonna cry? I feel like you're gonna. No, I'm actually not. Like, don't get me. So, screw it, right? I don't. Well, screw it though, right? You guys are gonna laugh at me. You're gonna make fun of me, but whatever, right? For me, the Undertaker is so synonymous with wrestling and so synonymous with my childhood, and always somebody that I've really enjoyed the work that he did. And I'm an emotional person. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's not hard to tell when you've pissed me off, and it's also not hard to tell when I'm happy about something. So, do I anticipate some kind of tears tomorrow? Yes. I am not ashamed to say that, right?
I mean, I think anybody would anticipate something, tears wise, with that Undertaker, the final part tomorrow. Because I mean, dear Lord, it's got to be something fantastic. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be getting this.
Right, and it's kind of one of those things to where you create such a connection with something that when you see it all kind of come to an end, like the streak, I will admit, I teared up when the streak ended because I thought we were going to see the Undertaker leave then. And that came so far out of left field. This I'm a little bit more prepared for. So I think that I don't know. I think it'll be different.
I mean, with him retiring and everything, for me personally, because Undertaker was always my favorite, to see him retire, it's tough, but at the same time, I feel like I would rather see him retire than see him cripple himself trying to get back into the ring and do something. Like for me, emotions-wise, it'll hit me. I don't know if I'll cry because most of my emotions died when the streak did. So,
wow, that's kind of strong.
Damn.
That's when innocence died for me, right there. It's just like, yep, wrestling's dead. The streak's over. It's like, fuck you, WWE. Nothing's sacred no more.
Let me see if I understand this correctly. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yep.
Thank you. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You mean to tell me that when the streak ended, you died inside?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
No, you can't get a reaction video.
Andy, is it bad of me to say, when that match happened, I was like really sick that day. I'm with friends, I still want to watch WrestleMania. The match comes on, I'm ready to watch it. Next thing I know, I'm waking up going, what happened? They go, you missed the Undertaker match. It's like, I didn't miss nothing. Undertaker wins. I got, no, he lost. I was like, excuse me? I'm like, wait, what?
I'm pretty sure, Chrome, you spelled heels, the wrong heels in that sentence. Just saying. But anyway. No, I remember the day the streak died. I had a house. I was renting a house at the time. And I had a bunch of people over, ordered a ton of food. It was WrestleMania 30. It was a big deal. And WrestleMania has always been a huge deal for me anyway, right? Like I make the joke because I'm a huge West Wing fan, right? The TV show West Wing. And they have a line where it's my day of Jubilee. That's my day of Jubilee. WrestleMania is my day of Jubilee. You'll never see me happier. And so I remember we ordered a ton of food. I actually had people from work over that don't like wrestling but knew how important it was to me. And that match happens, and the way my house was set up, you had the front door, you'd walk in, there's the living room and the back door, and we had these big windows in the back door, so we could actually like open it up and sit outside, because it was still kind of nice in April out here. And so we were sitting outside at one point. A couple people were vaping or were smoking, whatever the hell they were doing. And I hear the match start. So I go in and I'm watching, and I saw Undertaker take one F5. He takes two F5s. And then he takes a third, and I go, all right, he's gonna kick out. We're going home, right? This is what sets up to go home. And then he doesn't kick out. And time stands still. I've never experienced a moment where time just stands still. And I didn't know what was life anymore. I questioned my entire existence in that moment. I see people asking what kind of food, what was on the menu for my WrestleMania 30 party. Well, back then, I ordered a copious amount of Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, the number was staggering how much money I spent on B-dubs at the time.
Let me guess, about a year's worth of savings?
No.
But close?
Probably a week's worth of pay.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's crazy. Even on any week's pay, like any at all, that's still crazy.
Yeah. Hey man, that's a party though. I'll give him that. That's a party.
So I used to come out. So out here, we could go to Buffalo Wild Wings and watch wrestling. So that's how I, would watch wrestling when I was in college and different things like that. So I didn't have to pay for it. And so it just kind of, Buffalo Wild Wings became synonymous with pay-per-views. I'm ignoring him now. Became synonymous with pay-per-views.
Yeah, because I used to do the same thing.
And so for me, it was always Buffalo Wild Wings. And I knew I had a ton of people coming over. So, and this was the most people I've had. And I had a ton of people, right? I ordered a ton of wings. But anyway, okay, so we are running out of time. We clearly did not get to everything we wanted to at the current moment. But Mr. Sensuti, I do appreciate you jumping on with us tonight.
Yes,
this was fun. You'll have to come back more often.
I hope so. I hope you'll see me back in more ninjas.
I swear to God, if I turn on Hockey Happy Hour and you're in a damn ninja mask, I'm losing my shit. I will get the link. Do you hear me? And I will jump in and start yelling at you.
I swear to God, I almost thought about wearing some sort of ninja mask tonight.
Oh man, that's such a shame because man, such a miss.
I have access to one.
Oh.
But guys, as always, we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy LLC. Check them out on the web at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Make sure you make Dr. Paul Vidal your doc. We did. Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services. They are your deck restoration and gutter guard specialists. And QB54, the best tailgating game in the business. For Butters, for Maddie. Oh, wait a minute. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow, Agree to Disagree comes at you live. Sport Towns on Monday. Birds of a Feather Tuesday. Fix and AM and the PM on Wednesday. The Bill Alfonso Part 2 is on Thursday. Maddie, what are you guys talking about this week on Hockey Happy Hour?
This week we'll probably talk about what's going on with the NHL, specifically Phase 2.
Okay.
And see, the locations, and everything like that. We're gonna try and see what we can, dive into it a little bit.
Okay. Awesome. On the road to victory, we'll be back Friday. And then we'll be back here following behind Kicking It Stateside and Weekly Roundup as we do. We're probably going to do an Undertaker career retrospective next week. If Part 5 plays out how we all think it's going to play out, we'll definitely do we'll do a career retrospective. But Ralph Del Vecchio, we appreciate you sorry, Butters, what?
One other thing.
No.
Bro, while we're here, I'm going to wish everybody a happy Father's Day for all those fathers out there. Thank you for doing what you do. Andy, back to you, sir.
I was going to get there, but thank you for that.
I didn't realize it. My bad.
We appreciate everything Ralph Del Vecchio does in the background. Ralph, thank you so much for being with us every single Saturday night. Guys, once again, you have the new United States champion, Butters, the GOAT, one half of the Ginger Gang, Mr. Madison Sudi himself. And I, as always, I am the glorious Ritz. We'll see you all next week. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.